Some people say that knowledge is power, but sometimes knowing too much can put us in harm's way, and having information linked to a criminal investigation is a whole different ballgame. We all know this sort of information should be in the hands of police officers, but what if something or someone stops them? That's possibly what happened to 3 teenagers who went missing just days after one of their friends was found murdered. Let's uncover the unsolved disappearances of Eve Ho, Jackie Lai, Kevin Lim, and the murder of Phillip Sit. Hello and welcome to the 17th episode of Uncover True Crime Podcast. My name is Stephanie, and each week we uncover a different unsolved true crime case ranging from missing persons, unsolved murders, Jane and John Does, and suspicious deaths. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, and other podcast streaming apps, as well as on YouTube by searching Uncover True Crime. You can follow us on Twitter at uncover_pod and on Instagram at uncovertruecrimepod. Without any further ado, let's uncover the unsolved disappearances of Eve Ho, Jackie Lai, Kevin Lim, and the murder of Phillip Sit. Eve Ho, 17, Jackie Lai, 18, and Kevin Lim, also 18, all met at Harvard College School in their hometown of Ontario, Canada, and were known to be good friends. Eve's fellow classmate, Chris Yao, describes Eve as being, quote, always the loudest one in the group, unquote. And this, along with her good looks, is probably what caught Jackie's eye, and the two began a romantic relationship. There is not a lot of information about what each of them were like as people, or about their lives, but there is nothing to indicate that they were any different than your average teenage trio. That was until the 14th of August 2006, when they disappeared. That day, Chris Yao stated that he and Eve spoke on the phone. She stated she was at Jackie's house and sounded totally normal. Eve arranged to meet a friend at the Eaton Centre, a shopping mall in downtown Toronto, but she never turned up. Jackie was last seen by his mother when she left to go to work. They spoke on the phone later that day, but after the call ended, no one heard from or saw Jackie again. Kevin left his grandmother's house to go to the shop to buy a drink, said he would return in a few minutes, and never did. After the 3 were reported missing, police checked for activity on their bank accounts and phones, but there was no sign that any of them had withdrawn any money or made any calls or texts after they were last seen. In fact, Kevin didn't even have his phone with him. The fact that all 3 teenagers went missing on the same day means that their disappearances are almost certainly connected. Their case might also be connected to the murder of their friend and fellow classmate, Phillip Sit. On the 23rd of September 2005, Phillip left his home to meet with some friends. He returned home that night, only to go back out to hang out with his friends early on the 24th. Sadly, he didn't arrive back home this time, and he was never seen by his family again. I don't know if police questioned Eve, Jackie and Kevin when Phillip first went missing, or what friends he was going to see the last night he was seen alive. Although sadly, his body would be found on a rural but well-travelled road about 30 miles from his house, 5 days before Jackie, Eve and Kevin would go missing. Police have not revealed Phillip's cause of death, but did say it is a homicide. Despite limited media coverage on the case, online forums discussing Phillip's murder are filled with rumour and speculation, particularly surrounding how his body was found and the condition his body was found in. I feel that spreading this information further would be disrespectful to Phillip and his family if these rumours are not true. If they are true, there is a reason why police haven't revealed this information, probably to protect the integrity of the investigation, so I will not be including any of these rumours in this episode. There has not been much media coverage on Eve, Kevin or Jackie's disappearance or on Phillip's murder. However, most online sleuthers who have looked into the case subscribe to either one of 2 theories. The first theory is that the 3 teens know information about Phillip's murder and were killed so they couldn't go to the police. Apparently, news on Phillip's murder wasn't made public until after the 3 went missing. It is possible that there were news reports linked to the discovery of his body, just not the identity of the victim or the investigation into his death, although sources differ on this detail. If Jackie, Eve and Kevin did know something about Phillip's murder and saw police presence in the area, or found out through word of mouth that a body had been found in that area, they would likely have known the body was Phillip's before it became public knowledge. Although, if they did know something about Phillip's murder and were killed to stop them from going to the police, why would someone wait until Phillip's body was found to hurt them? It's hard to speculate because we don't know what the trio knew about Phillip's case, if anything at all. The second theory is that Eve, Jackie and Kevin were actually involved in Phillip's murder and they ran away in order to evade police. All three had relatives in China, specifically Hong Kong, and people believe their parents aided in their escape, which would account for their camera-shy nature and why they haven't spoken to the media much about their children's disappearances. However, this might also be due to a language barrier. When describing Eve Ho's mother, Detective Scott Mills said, quote, "She's been very supportive of what we're doing. She's thanked me personally for all our efforts. She doesn't want to be in front of the cameras. In Chinese culture, most people are shy of the media." Unquote. The police have never named Eve, Jackie or Kevin as suspects in the case, just persons of interest. DS Jerry Milne had this to say about their possible involvement in Phillip's murder, quote, "We truly believe that these three missing people have a lot of answers that we're looking for that could assist us as to more detail about what was going on in Phillip's life immediately prior to his disappearance. They were close friends of his and they themselves have gone missing. Is it suspicious that these kids go missing around the same time frame? Of course it is. We are not blind to that. But at the same time, we need something to lead us down that path and we just don't have it." Unquote. From the information I was able to gather on this case, it seems as though Eve didn't own a passport and Kevin and Jackie didn't have theirs on them when they disappeared. There also doesn't seem to be any official record of them leaving Canada. It is totally possible they're hiding out somewhere within Canada, either with or without their family's knowledge, but all these theories are pure speculation. Police have not lost hope that Eve, Kevin and Jackie's disappearances, as well as Phillip's murder, will be solved. Detective Scott Mills was part of the team involved in creating a statue of Eve Ho's silhouette, which he hopes would generate new tips in the case, although unfortunately it didn't. Scott Mills stated, quote, "We've either got foul play, or I would like to look on the hopeful side that, for one reason or another, they're scared and they're hiding. We don't know. I find this case really unique. There seems to be a real reluctance for people to speak to us." Unquote. The biggest issue I had when researching this case is the lack of information available to the public. None of the three teens are listed as missing people on any Canadian law enforcement site I can find. The timeline of the day they disappeared is very unclear, and I can't even find a physical description on what Jackie and Kevin looked like or what they were wearing that day. Toronto police have made a couple of YouTube videos urging people with information to come forward, but I don't know how many useful tips they expect to get with the information they have provided to the public. All news stories on this case relay the same information, barring a few discrepancies on a couple of minor details, and I can't find any articles dated after 2009. 11 years ago. Please share this episode on your social media and see if together we can get people talking about this case again. Eve Ho, Kevin Lim and Jackie Lee all went missing on the 14th of August 2006. Eve was 17-year-old while Jackie and Kevin were 18 years old. Eve was 5'9", weighed 155 pounds and was last seen wearing a black hoodie with a monkey decal on the front and back, blue jeans and either a pink or red belt, and black Puma flip-flops and a Guess purse. And as I've said, I was unable to find any physical description on either Kevin or Jackie. Phillip Sit disappeared on the 24th of September 2005 and his body was found on the 8th of August 2006 in a rural property in Kings Township. He was 17 years old and was known to frequent Toronto's Kensington Market, the Eaton Shopping Centre, Markham Pacific Mall on Kennedy Road, Steeles Avenue and Metro Square on Ferrier Street, all within Toronto. If you have any information regarding his murder or on Eve, Kevin and Jackie's disappearances, please contact the York Regional Police Cold Case Unit on 1866 876 5423 and use the extension number 7865. Alternatively, you can call Crime Stoppers on 1-800-222-TIPS. All pictures and sources can be found on our website at uncovertruecrimepodcast.co.uk. Please remember to follow us on Twitter at uncover_pod and on Instagram at uncovertruecrimepod. That's everything I have for you today. Thank you for listening till the very end. Please stay safe and have a good night.